right, you guys, welcome Monday morning. I know a lot of us are a little shell-shocked and feeling a little tender-hearted and feeling the heaviness of the energy in the air right now. If you're not one of those people, yay. I hope you woke up and it's a beautiful Monday morning for you. I don't want to tiptoe around it. I want us to talk about it up front, and then I want us to use this practice to move our bodies, to dispel the stress, the tension, the fearsome, worrisome thoughts, and to come back to our center so that we leave here improved, so that we leave here feeling better, because that's always one of the goals of yoga. So if you look at the term yoga, yoga means to unite, to unify, to pull together, to bring together as one. And it shouldn't take a tragedy for us to come together. And unfortunately, these days, in this modern era of time, we can't even all come together with a tragedy. So it's hard right now. We were in class last week when we had that disruption in Nashville, and my phone was blowing up after I got out of class. Now, typically I put my phone in airplane mode. I cannot do that anymore. I want to have accessibility to what's happening in the world. I want my son to be able to contact me. So I apologize if a call comes through or something comes through to disrupt the music, but right now it's what I've got to make me feel better, okay? So when we look at the word community, it has the word unity in it. And what has been lovely to see is the community coming together for different reasons, you know, to show support. Anytime there's a sense of community, it's people coming together that are like-minded, that share the same ideas, that share the same hopes and dreams, that have the same concerns. And I love the fact that new moon is very similar to half moon, because there was a great sense of community at half moon, and that has obviously spilled over to this studio because a lot of you stemmed from that studio, but not every studio is the same. I go to a lot of other studios around town, and there are some studios where there's not a sense of community and people don't really get to know each other. And I love the fact that we have that here because we get to know each other and we can come to support each other for various reasons, whether it's enjoying someone's pictures, getting back from a nice trip, or hearing about their children getting married or getting grandchildren, or even coming together for, you know, hardships like what we've been dealing with. So I am not a fearful person. I face fear head on. I'm an Aries. I can't help it. I just go for it. But this week has been a little different. You know, my son's in high school, and he wasn't with me last week. He was with his father last week. He flip-flops week to week. And I was able to see him because he did a gig last week, so I was able to get together and hug him and talk to him and all that good jazz. But it was hard for me this morning, because this morning was the first morning I had to drop him off at school. And he's not scared, he's fine. But I discovered last night, I was doing healing meditations yesterday here at this studio and at the other studio I teach at. My intention for creating that healing meditation plus sound bath was due to the astrology report for this year, due to the numerology code for this year. Because at the onset of every year, I go through those predictions, I go through that symbology, and I share it with you. And it was predicted that 2023 is going to have as much chaos and change as 2020, but different, a different way. And so I knew it was going to be a hard year. And they were saying, you know, with it being the numeral 7 for numerology, it's a highly spiritual number. And we do know that hardships and trials and challenges often get us closer to God or closer to the divine, because, you know, sometimes that's all we have to turn to is just to have this faith and to lean on this higher power for support. And so 7's a highly spiritual number. It's meant to be a year where we come back into our spirituality. It's a year where we come back into self-healing. healing some of our past wounds, healing some of our ancestral wounds that have been passed over from grandparents to parents to us. It's a time and year for us to reconnect to nature, because nature is awe-inspiring, and that can bring us closer to something higher and more powerful than we are, even if it's just Mother Nature. So going back to the healing meditations yesterday, and over this week, I shared with the group yesterday, because obviously with it being called healing meditations, we were all coming together because we felt like something needed to be healed. And I created it really just to facilitate it, not knowing that it was gonna line up with what happened last week. And so what I discovered personally for myself was, even though I'm not a person that lives in fear, I've noticed when I've been out this week, and when I've been walking my neighborhood, and when I was out at a concert, I had glimpses of fear. It didn't stay with me the whole time, thank goodness. I know I have the tools available to break up my brain thoughts when it starts going down a rabbit hole. So I can come back to my yogic breathing, I can come back to my affirmations. But when I was walking the neighborhood last week, someone dropped something in their garage, and that sound reverberated through the neighborhood, and I jumped and my heart started palpitating, and I'm looking around to make sure everything is safe. I took my child to a concert, and we're having a great time. The music was fantastic, everybody's smiling and dancing, and all of a sudden something just came over me, and I'm like looking around to make sure it's safe. That doesn't happen to me, you guys. So I know if it's happening to me, and I do yoga and meditation daily, I don't know if you're having these moments. You may be having these moments too. So I just want to remind you, when that happens, we get triggered, and there's a disconnect between mind and body. And yoga is meant to unite mind, body, and spirit together as one. And that's why the breath is so central to this practice, because the breath can anchor us back into our body. Our breath can make us more tuned in and aware of what's happening inside of our body, inside of our thought patterns. And then we can start to use the tools to do something about it. So if all that wasn't enough, last night my son's girlfriend came to the practice last night, and we were going around the circle, and everybody was sharing what they came to the practice for, right? Some people said it's unspoken, too personal to share. Other people were talking about the events of last week, and other people were talking about, divorce or a loss or trauma that had recently happened. And when I was passing that amethyst crystal around so that everybody could talk, holding it, my son's girlfriend shared that her best friend's mother is part of the investigation and everything. And they had found footage around my son's high school of the shooter being at his school that morning. So last week, she went to his school first and then went to this other school. And it shocked me. I wasn't ready to hear that. No parent wants to hear that. So I just heard it last night. I woke up this morning crying. I'm not crying telling you that. So I just took a yoga class. See how much yoga has helped me already? I'm able to speak it now and not cry. And now I'm getting to do another yoga class with you guys. More yoga, more meditation, more breath work needed for us to get us over this hump, to get us over this stress and this heaviness that's in the air. So let's come together and unite with our breath. And I love that we're uniting here to practice together. Okay. So let's do this. Let's sit up nice and tall. I would suggest maybe sitting on the bolster and then scooting towards the edge of it, so that you get a little pelvic tilt forward that allows us to gain that natural curve in the low back. And rest the hands on the lap. Close your eyes. Notice how it feels to sit upright, to maintain some good posture. As you're doing this, you may feel like there's a little effort required in your core. You may find there's effort in your back. You may find it a little bit of an effort to even keep the heart propped up and open. The movement that we'll be doing today will help us in creating better posture. Notice when we're sitting upright, it's a little easier to take deeper sips of breath. So let's begin to open up the channel of our breath, deepening the inhale as well as the exhale. And please know that when we are challenged and when we feel stressed, the breath tends to be shallow. This is the time to hone back in on the breath, to reclaim the breath, to befriend the breath, because it's our greatest support system. And it is the thread that will interweave the mind, the body, the spirit together as one. Now gently begin to crack the lids of your eyes open and bring your hands to prayer position at your heart. Once you bring your hands to prayer position at your heart, you're going to lace up your hands on your inhale and you're going to push your palms forward on your exhale. Good. Inhale, lift the arms up overhead, stretching through the side body, opening up your side ribs, opening up space in between each vertebra. And then as you exhale, allow the hands to fan out and bring them back to your heart. We're going to continue to work with this. Inhale, lace your hands up. Exhale, extend your wrists out. Good. Inhale, lift the arms back up overhead. This time as you exhale, you're going to circle the arms behind your back. You're going to lace the hands again, roll the shoulders back, extend long through the forearms, and then exhale, release the hands, draw them back to center. All right, we're going to imagine on this next round that as we're sweeping the arms around the body, we're creating a protective bubble around us, and we're also creating a pure light around our body. So inhale, lace up your hands. Exhale, extend out through your wrists. Inhale, fly the arms up overhead. And as you exhale, curve to your left. As you inhale, rise back to the top. As you exhale, curve over to the right. Inhale, back to the top. Exhale, hands circle behind us. Relax. Extend the arms. Open your heart. And exhale, bow forward. Inhale, come up to the top. And exhale, bringing hands back to heart center. Good, now dig the thumbs into the center of your chest so that you feel your thumbs pressing into the upper part of your breastbone, and close your eyes and take 3 deep diaphragmatic breaths. This is actually a marma point or acupressure point for the heart chakra. The heart is said to be the seat of the soul. And the heart holds an inner wellspring of joy, peace, and love inside. Think about every breath you take, drilling down into that well of love, joy, and peace to be admitted and to radiate throughout your being, be able to share with others on our departure. On your next inhale, open your eyes, extend the arms up overhead, your palms face each other. And as the palms face each other, really extend up through your side waist, through your side traps. And then as you exhale, flip your left hand out, lower down to the palm or fingertips, and just lean into it. Taking yourself a little deeper into a side bend. Now cup a hold of the back side of your head with your hand. Slowly dial the heart up. Maybe even looking sharply through the right corner of your eyes. It's called Parshva Drishti. Remembering the eyes are a muscle as well. Inhale, let's fly that right arm skyward. Lift your left hand up. Reframe your face with your arms like pillars. And then exhale, turn your right hand out, lower that to the floor, and sweep over to that side of the room. Finding your edge of flexibility where you can still comfortably breathe. Affirming as you hold, strength and courage is filling up my body cells. Cup a hold of the back of the skull. Dial the heart up towards the heavens. Look sharply through the left corner of the eyes. Continue to open up the breath. Inhale, now fly your left hand up and slowly pick up your right hand. Come back to center. And then exhale, join the palms together overhead and lower them down to your heart. All right, we're going to come up to stand. So go ahead and separate away from your bolster. Find your way to a standing position and clear your mat. If you need blocks or think you'll want blocks, have them to the front side so they're easy to grab. Spread out your toes. Rock back and forth from your heels to the balls of the feet. Stack onto your leg bones. Squeeze the muscles close to the bone and zip up through your navel center. Let your shoulders hang down away from the face. Let your arms and fingertips reach down towards the ground. Holding Tadasana, standing mountain pose. All right, bring your hands to prayer position at your heart. Relace your hands, even your thumbs, and tuck your fingers up underneath your chin. Now, as we breathe in, we're going to be doing this number. We're going to be separating the elbows and the palms and stretching open through the throat. And as we exhale, the hands are going to squeeze together, the arms fold back in, and we bring the chin back to where we started, okay? Except we're going to try to slowly breathe in to maybe 4 to 5 to 6 counts and breathe out to 4, 5, or 6 counts, depending on your lung capacity, okay? So when you're ready, start to slowly breathe in and open up. And as you exhale, close your hands, fold your arms in, and lower your chin. So nice, slow, steady movement. Breathing in. And breathing out. Good, doing one more. Exhale, breathe it down. Nice, inhale, sweep the arms to your sides and up overhead. Similar to what we were doing sitting, except really drill the feet down into your mat. As you push down through the soles of the feet, feel the ignition, the energization, the activation running rampant up to your legs and then throughout the upper body. Exhale, lean your head back, bring the palms together, and then start to fold forward into Uttanasana. So you eventually separate your hands as you bow over and down. Let your arms release. Oh my goodness, that's much. Sorry, guys. He's telling me he's going to the walkout. He's fine. Inhale, come halfway up. Good. Exhale, roll down. Belly, chest, face. Inhale, halfway up. The hands are welcome to slide up the leg bones as you separate the two halves. And then exhale, fold back in half. We're going to do one more. Inhale, coming halfway up. Ardha Uttanasana. This time, hold it. But notice if you're just dumping all your weight into your hands. Instead, try to pull, 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 radiate your heart forward and out, lengthen through your mid-back, and then draw and retract the belly in just a bit to give some core support to your low back. And then exhale, fold back in. Okay, now just hang here for a moment. But if your back hurts, soften your knees. And hopefully that will relieve any discomfort. Otherwise, try to keep your legs in a straighter formation so that you're working into your hamstrings, opening the back of the knees. And try not to bend the elbow or straighten the arms. Let your elbows bend and soften so it's not blocking or impeding the length of your spine. And then close your eyes and I want you to affirm mentally within an important affirmation. Nothing and no one on this earth can hold me down or back. I am committed to my own physical, spiritual, mental, and emotional health. This is our responsibility. Inhale, step back plank. And when you come into plank pose, you're pushing the ground away from you with your hands. That way your upper back is solid and engaged. If this is too much, feel free to lower your knees to table. But we're gonna rock forward and lower down like a push-up. And we're gonna land to the belly with the hands tucked underneath the shoulders. Now lift and lengthen each leg, back, 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 feet glued to the floor, glute squeezing, shoulders roll back, heart lifts. Now you're trying to use your back strength for this. But if you have the upper body strength, you can also use a little assistance with your arms as long as your shoulders don't become your earlobes, okay? Deep breathe, here, Bhujangasana. As you exhale, come down to the brow. As you inhale, push down to lift up to through tabletop. And as you exhale, rock back into extended child's pose. Hips back towards the heels, arms outstretched. And please don't feel like you have to force your head to the floor. Your neck will tell you whether or not you can go there. It's okay to come down to the brow. It's okay if you need to hover. As you're holding extended child's pose, keep your arms actively reaching, moving forward, forward, and out. This is great for cleansing the lymph nodes and the pits of the arms, the lymphatic tissues in the upper chest. And it also brings some traction to the back, an area that often gets compounded with past hurts or a feeling of lack of support. Let your breath come back in to give you the greatest amount of support. Inhale, rock forward, hands and knees. Exhale, come to downward facing dog. Lifting the knees off the floor, creating this inverted shape here. Sits bones on the rise, becoming the pinnacle of the pose. Your head is bowed, you're looking back towards your feet. On your next inhale, bring the shoulders over your hands, plank. Gain some bone strength here by supporting your own weight. And exhale, push back away from your hands and wrists. Returning to downward facing dog. We're going to do that twice more. Inhale, coming forward, plank. Stretch out through your neck. Push back through your heels. Exhale, tilt back, downward facing dog. Good. Inhale, come forward again to plank. Exhale, rock forward, lower down, 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 down to the floor, or roll down if you need your knees to help. Bringing your hands underneath your shoulders. Shoulders are going to loop back again. Legs lift and extend back. Feet glued to the floor. Inhale, rising to cobra. It could be baby. It could be moderate. It could be a king cobra. Take your time. Deep breaths in and out through the nose. Exhale, come down towards your brow. Inhale, lift up through table. Exhale, press back into extended child's pose. From your extended child's pose, if you feel like you need to be more relaxed, you can circle the arms around your legs and let your head lower to the floor. Maybe your arms need a little bit of a break. So you can do it either way. There's benefits either way. As you're laying over your lap, do that diaphragmatic breathing, which will be helpful for digestion, helpful for calming the nervous system, and then affirming here as you hold. I now release and relax away from all outer involvements into my own inner haven of peace. All right, inhale, stretch your arms forward again if they're not already. Rock up hands and knees. Exhale, down dog. All right, we're gonna do those 3 rocks back and forth between the 2 asanas. So inhale, come forward, plank. Exhale, press back. Adho Mukha Svanasana. All right, again, inhale, come forward, plank, create columns here to hold yourself up. Exhale, press back, down one. We're doing one last set of those. Inhale, plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good, now begin traveling the feet forward, baby stepping along the way, picking your hands up along the way until you return to Uttanasana at the top of the mat, hinging from the hips, letting the shoulders relax, letting your neck be neutral, your head be heavy. And then you can determine here, is it better for your back to have legs straight or knees bent? All right, inhale, come to Ardha Uttanasana. We're going to be completing this version of a sun towel today. Exhale, release. Inhale, lift and extend. Exhale, full release. Hopefully noticing a difference in the back of the body. Inhale, last one. Exhale, spill down. This time when you spill down, slightly tuck your chin to your chest, not in a forceful way, in a gentle way. So the top of your head is what's facing the ground. Pouring everything towards the crown chakra, a place that connects us to this idea of unity and oneness and greater wisdom. All right, push down through the soles of the feet. Sweep the arms to your sides and up overhead. Once you come up to the top, Urdhva Hastasana, go ahead and place your hands together, upward worship, being grateful for the beautiful weather we're finally receiving in spring. And then exhale, bring the hands down to the heart. All right, beautiful. So this side of the room can face the middle, this side of the room can face the middle. And you may want your blocks to come with. Okay, so I didn't instruct from blocks at the top of the mat, but hopefully you guys know when to use them, when not to. All right, you're gonna separate your feet out. And when you separate your feet out, look down to make sure there's at least 3 rulers distance between the arches of your feet. All right, take your hands to your hips. And we're gonna roll the shoulders back. Okay. And notice when you roll the shoulders back, so those of you facing this direction, see all the ruching here in the shirt? That's what you want. And for those of you on this side, you can see it with her clothing as well. And we want the shoulder blades to cinch in towards each other, towards the vertebrae. And we want to keep this action even as we start to descend. So firmly plant it on the floor with your feet. Shoulders roll back, start to hinge down, and just pause halfway. And if you need to land your hands to blocks, you can. Otherwise, see if you can keep the elbows up, the shoulders back, as you continue to hinge over to Prasarita Padottanasana B. So we're trying to get the crown of the head to face the floor, but it doesn't have to, right? If you have moments of vertigo and you need to have your head in line with your heart, you can keep your torso parallel to the floor. If you have other issues that prohibit you from going this low, know that you can use your blocks or fingertips to modify. All right, inhale, let's all come halfway up, and let's all take the hands down to the blocks. And stack the blocks underneath your hands, and your hands below your shoulders, and then just stretch long through your spine. Okay, this is going to even out everyone's blood flow for a moment, because we're going to go back in, if you're willing. All right, exhale, start to pour over again. And then if you can take the peace mudra around each big toe, then tag the big toes with those fingers, fan your elbows away from your shins, and bow your head again. Now this is the D version of this pose. And now use your thumbs to push down into the big toenails. And there's an acupressure point here for the pituitary gland. It's one of the master glands located in the head. So the inversion is going to help stimulate it. The pressure point is going to help to stimulate it. And the endocrine system is governing our hormones. One more deep breath. And then affirm, I release any and all mental burdens or barriers away. I release any and all mental stress and worry away. Now let's take the hands to the blocks. Let's straighten out through the arms and the back again. And just breathe here again to normalize that blood flow we were receiving. Take the hands back up to your waist and push down through your feet to climb back up to the top. Awesome. All right, let your left foot rotate towards the short edge of your mat. Okay, now turn back to face each other, right, with your torso, keeping your left foot turned, and bring your hands to Namaste at the heart. All right, take a deep breath in and lift through the crown of your head, and as you exhale, lunge into that left knee. Good, when you lunge into the left knee, glance down at that side. Make sure that you're rolling open through your thigh bone. Good, now inhale, fly the arms up, separate your hands out, and come to Virabhadrasana 2, looking down the left fingertips. From Virabhadrasana 2, take a deep breath in. As you exhale, lean the left arm to your left bent knee. Reach the right arm skyward. Now this is the more gentle form. You're welcome to stay here. If you want a little bit of a challenge, slide your left fingertips towards the inner ankle and let your fingertips just kind of hover there. It's going to require a little bit more additional strength and endurance. All right, now use the right fingertips to come up to the top. Straighten out the left leg. Relax your arms. Turn your left foot in. And now rotate your right foot towards the opposite end of your mat, and then neutralize your torso. Face each other, hands to prayer. Take a deep breath in, lift your heart. Exhale, lunge into your right knee. Good, glance down to make sure it's got the proper anatomical alignment and opening. Good, inhale, lift the arms up, and then splay the arms open over your legs. Good, gaze down the right fingertips. Warrior two. And then exhale, lean out on the right thigh. Send the left arm up towards the sky. Choosing to be here. Or sending the right fingertips down towards the inner ankle. Breathe, breathe, breathe. And affirm, I joyfully manifest the power of my own internal strength. Use your left fingertips to climb up to the top. Turn the right foot in. Good, turn your left foot out. Straighten out your arms again, shoulder height. Lean out over the left leg, take triangle pose. This is where if you need a block, you can stand your hand on the block to the outside of your left calf. Now it's okay to have your hand resting on your body, but notice how we have the tendency to dump into the block or the leg. And the idea here is to bring the energy up, to ascend it. So see if you can reach a little higher through the right fingertips and notice how that changes up what's occurring in your chest. One more deep breath in triangle. And then gently come up. Good, turn your left foot and relax your arms. Beautiful, turn your right foot. Open out the arms again, ready for triangle pose here. Push back into your hips. Sail into Trikonasana. Yeah, and if you need that other block, stand it to the outside of your right foot or calf. Shine the left hand skyward. Notice again the tendency to drop into gravity, to drop into the bottom hand, but this is about the ascension of energy and energy being on the rise. So fan and energize that top hand. Breathe up into the pinnacle of this pose. And remember, the breath is the key to bringing that state of union in your mind, body, spirit. And then slowly carry yourself up. Good. Turn your right foot in. Now, if you want both blocks, you can grab them. Don't worry if you're turning towards the back of the room or the front of the room. It's okay. We're going to lunge into the left knee. And you can stack your hands beside your foot. Or you can use the blocks. Doesn't matter. But align that left knee over the ankle. You guys are fine facing the back of the room, don't worry about it. Pluck up your back thigh. All right, now we're gonna float the hands up to Namaste at the heart, and we're gonna hover. And you're pushing through the left foot, and you're gazing down towards the left toes. Holding and breathing, holding and breathing. And then lower the hands down. All right, we're gonna use our blocks or hands to just spin, spin, turn, turn. So we're facing the opposite end, okay? Coming back into that runner's type lunge. Each side may be a little bit different. So you may have to even change up the height of the blocks. You're on the ball of the back foot. The back heel's off the floor. Front shin perpendicular to the floor. Good. Now push hard into your right foot. And notice how that strengthens your hamstrings and quads. Bring your hands to prayer. Stretch out through your vertebrae. Look down towards your right toes. Hold and breathe. Good. Exhale to send the hands back down to the floor. Stand back to the blocks. Walk the blocks back to the center where the feet are parallel, where we kind of started this standing sequence. Good, bring your hands back together or back to your hips and slowly stand. Don't worry about which way you're facing, it doesn't matter. Lace your hands up behind your back. What we did when we were sitting earlier, shoulders roll back, arms lengthen downward. We're not folding today. We're breathing up into the heart. We're breathing into those lymphatic tissues that connect the arms to the chest. Good, exhale, bring hands to prayer position at the heart. Good, whatever foot is facing the front side of the room, turn it towards me. Good, and then step up. All right, now we're gonna move to balancing poses. Yippee-yay. Okay, stand on your left foot. And what we're gonna try to do is a standing form of pigeon. Okay, if you need this version where you're just holding the knee, Padangusthasana A, you can do that. Otherwise, the second hand is gonna scoop up underneath the heel. One hand to knee, one hand to heel. And again, if this is too much, just do Padangusthasana A. Now, if you have a pretty good handhold and pretty good balance, see if you can lift the leg higher. Focus your eyes on one placement. Good, release. Okay, walk it out. All right, stacking and standing on the right leg. Sometimes if the mat's too squishy, you can step off like Betsy's doing. It's fantastic. All right, someone else is using the wall. A couple people using the wall in the back. You're welcome to use the wall. Okay, Padangusthasana A or standing pigeon. If you're holding the knee and ankle, you're scooping beneath them. Once you find stability, maybe check in with your hip flexibility to see if you can lift higher. Hold and breathe. Good, and release. Walk it out. When you're ready, station back on your left foot. Turn open from your right hip. This is a version of tree pose here, and you're welcome to stay here. Or slide it to your calf or up to your inner thigh. Hands return to prayer position at the heart. Bring your thumbs to the center point of your chest. Good, lower the right foot. Take your left hand over your heart center, your right hand over that, thumbs together. Create like little angel wings here. Close your eyes. We're going to do the affirmation for tree pose while we're breathing here. I am calm. I am poised. I am calm and poised. I am safe. I am sound. I am safe and sound. All right, let's move to the other side. Crack your eyelids open, relax your arms, shift your weight to the right, and then bend the left knee open from the hip. This may be your tree pose today. Or slide it up to your calf or up to your thigh. If you want branches, you can create them, but I'm going to bring hands to Namaste at the heart. Good, release the left foot, keeping the eyes peeled open, still staring at your drishti point. Both feet on the ground, weight evenly distributed between the two sides, affirming I am calm, I am poised, I am safe and sound. Inhale, circle the arms up. Exhale, fold down, Uttanasana. Inhale, step back down, dog. And from Adho Mukha Svanasana, take a deep breath in. And a slow breath out. And at the end of that exhale, safely come down to the floor. And then we're going to spin the feet out in front of us to sit. Line up your legs so they're parallel to each other. And you're putting that flexion in your ankles and pushing down through your thigh bones. That's already a lot of effort. And then reach the arms up overhead. So you're forming this 90-degree angle with your body. All right, exhale, we're gonna hinge forward. And notice how sitting forward folds feel more complicated than standing forward folds. And a lot of that has to do with where we are with gravity, but it also has to deal with the pelvic tilt and also the tightness that we may carry in the low back. So err on the side of caution, practice with compassion. Don't worry about finding your feet. Now, slide your hands back and gently bring your torso up. Take the hands back behind you, lean into them, and slide your feet now towards you. We're going into reverse tabletop. Now, this is a lot for the shoulders, so try your best. If you need to come out before I instruct, it's okay. But push down through the feet so that you're tucking the tailbone, lifting off the mat. You're hanging your head back just enough to look up towards the ceiling panel. You're trying to spread your collarbones. Take one more breath if you can handle it. And then exhale, slowly sit back down. Yeah, I know that could be a lot. Stretch out through your left leg. Turn open from your right hip. Your right arm is going to circle behind your back. Now, were you looking ahead when you circled the arm? And here's why. If I'm looking straight ahead and circle my arm, it comes here. If I twist and circle the arm and then turn back, it comes way over here. I don't know if yours will do that or not. It's a little trick of the trade that I've learned from the years of teaching. But if you want a little more, take the twist and then try to keep the hand there as you turn back to face me. Do you feel a difference? Yeah. Okay, elevate your left arm. Just hold it up. Breathe into that right shoulder. Now, sometimes we need to stay here. But if you can, and your body allows, fold down. And we're gonna let the head go. And we're just gonna casually and slightly lean it to the left. Just to feel that work in the side strip of the neck. A place where a lot of us hold tension. Especially in the wintertime when it's cold outside. But we can also carry grief, not only in our lungs, but in our neck. Now slip that right arm away from your back. and reach that right arm forward, but focus on your belly, pull the belly in and spin it over towards your left knee. So you're pulling in and spinning the abdomen. That's it, Janu Shirshasana. Stand on your hands and walk them back towards you and slowly re-erect your spine. All right, you may need the knee to stay down just to give room for a twist, but we're gonna try to lift the right knee up. Okay, we're gonna grab a hold of it with the left arm. Good, lift it through your chest and let your right arm release behind your back. This is one of the sage poses called the sage twist. Make sure you're still breathing. Sometimes when we go and crank into a twist, we tend to hold the breath. But remember, the breath is our greatest life support. Good, and wind. Good, stretch out the right leg. Bend the left knee and open from that hip. We got this whole other sequence. All right, left arm behind the back. And then if you take that little twist, the hand will go much farther around. And then turn back to face me. Lifting the right arm. Pausing here because this may be where you need to remain today. Otherwise, fold. Maybe bow the head. And slightly lean it to the right. And slowly slip that left arm back out in front of you. And notice how the shoulders may be tilted, the belly's to the inside of the thigh. And now we want to pull it in, wind it over towards the knee. That levels out the shoulders and takes us into better form for this pose. Janu Shirshasana. Walk your hands casually back. Elevate that left knee. Hug it with your right arm. Pick up your chest. Land the left hand behind your back. As you rotate around. Now I want you to close your eyes for this one. So I want you to send out your love, goodwill, and compassion as I repeat this affirmation. You can visualize your own heart shining brightly and sending rays of light into the community. And let's keep it here in this Middle Tennessee area today. I radiate my love, goodwill, and compassion to soul friends all around this region. Send it out like a yogic prayer. And exhale, let's unwind. All right, 2 blocks here. You're going to lower to your back and put one between your knees. Oh, and if your hair is at the nape of your neck, go ahead and take it out. Okay, start with the one block between the legs. Bring the palms down beside your hips. Push down through the feet and tuck and lift into a two-legged table. So it's different than bridge, similar to bridge, but different, because we're not trying to go into a back bend, right? We're just engaging the glutes, engaging the hamstrings, squeezing the block with the knees. And we're not necessarily doing too much with our back or with our chest or arms. All right, now push down through the feet, start to tuck the tailbone more, and start to slowly rock the shoulders slightly under the body. Coming more into bridge, where you're working more into your back, into your arms, into your shoulders. Breathe into your belly. And now take the second block, and you're going to slide it under your sacrum. And then you're going to slowly feel the base of your spine down to rest on the prop. Now notice we're keeping the other block between the knees, so we're not completely passive. It's more of a hybrid between active and passive. This way the knees stay narrow and parallel. Close your eyes and affirm mentally, I offer every thought as a bridge to divine grace. This is when affirmations and mantras can come in handy when we notice our mind is slipping into a black hole. Right? Come back to your breath, come back to a positive statement or a higher truth. And now slowly pick up your feet. Take one hand up to take that block away from your legs, and then take your feet and lift them up towards the ceiling. Pump your heels up, pump your toes up. Pump your heels up, and then your toes up. So you're just pointing and flexing the feet in waterfall. And then slowly bend the knees, bring the feet back down. Tuck and lift away from the block you're sitting on to remove it. Lower down one vertebra at a time. And then catch your knees with your hands. So that you're holding Apanasana. And this should feel nice and lovely to the back as a counter stretch from what we've been doing. It may feel good just to give yourself a warm, loving embrace. And now let's set up for our Shavasana. So Shavasana is our rest at the end. I would suggest maybe at least a bolster sliding up underneath your thighs and knees. But of course, if you want something like Stonehenge or a slide, you can use the blocks and the bolster. I'm going to turn the overhead lights off while we nestle in. Oh, Sharon's got a good idea. She's doing legs up the wall. It's not a big team. If you had a blanket gathered, it may be useful to place either over your belly as a weight to ground or as a prop underneath your head for like a pillow effect. So something I want you to focus on while you're here, to give you something to meditate on. When the eyes are closed, keep your eyes closed, but gaze up towards the midpoint of your brow, as if you were looking towards a theater movie screen or the horizon. And I want you to picture in your mind's eye a perfect circle or a ring of light. So this ring of light or circle is symbolic oneness, unity, community, wholeness. You can still bear witness to your breath. If your mind starts thinking, come back to the breath or come back to envision that perfect circle. Just slowly return to the breath, enlivening it this time. Once it begins to feel less like a subtle wave and more of a tidal wave, then you can create some gentle movement in your hands and feet. Stretch your arms overhead and exhale, draw the knees in. Feel that comfort of drawing in, and then just sway gently side to side. When you're ready, roll to your favorite side. Come up to take a seat. You're sitting up. Open your palms on your lap. Tune in to notice how you feel now versus the beginning of class. Hopefully by moving and rinsing out the body, breathing and calming the nervous system, you feel much better. You may even notice when you depart, your senses may be more heightened. Let's join the palms back together to prayer. And set your intention that if or when you get triggered anytime today or this week, that you'll remind yourself to return to breath. You'll remind yourself to pay attention to your thoughts. Because if we change our thinking, we can change our lives. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Namaste. Thanks you guys so much for showing up today, being present and willing to do this together in community. Have a beautiful rest of your day.